with us. Carla Bello, that's who you just heard from there. She's a transgender woman, and she says her rights were violated during her 11-day stay in Pinellas County Jail. Our Liz Crawford talked to her about what she calls one of the most traumatic experiences of her life.
The only thing I had going in there was my faith and, my identity, and they stripped me of my identity.
Carla Bello says she's known she was meant to be a female pretty much her whole life. After decades of soul-searching, she started to transition in her early 30s. She's never been happier.
This feels natural and this feels normal to me.
But in 2019, she says she hit a major setback when she was arrested and taken to the Pinellas County Jail. A police report shows Bello was picked up on a warrant for failing to appear in traffic court.
They stripped me of everything. They took everything from me.
Bello says she was housed with male inmates and treated like a man for 11 days.
Where am I supposed to change? I'm supposed to be on hormones. And it started to affect me in so many different ways, and it's so layered.
She says her complaints were ignored, and she suffered physical and psychological damage from being deprived hormones, makeup, and grooming supplies.
Without the hormones there, my skin just started to lose its softness.
Things that some might consider to be frivolous or cosmetic is what makes you feel like yourself.
It was hard to have any privacy.
She used colored pencils on her skin.
Just as makeup, I would just try to put color in my eyes or lips or cheeks, and it made me feel better.
After 11 days, transgender advocates paid Bello's bail, and she was free. Now, she and her attorney are on a quest for reform.
If things like this would happen in Pinellas County, which is, prides itself as being this very safe place for LGBT people, you can only imagine what's going on in some of the more rural counties.
Now, we've reached out to the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office. A spokesperson said the sheriff will not be providing a statement on this case due to pending litigation. Earlier this month, the case in New York ended with one of the strongest jail policies protecting the rights of transgender inmates. I want to take a deeper dive into what that looks like. The policy addresses housing placement, safety, access to medication, pronoun use, search procedures, grooming standards, and such. The agreement came as a result of a lawsuit filed on behalf of a transgender woman in New York who is housed in a male facility. The New York Civil Liberties Union says the new policy can serve as a model for jails across the country.
So I just wanted to talk as a legal coach, only because I like this type of cases that help me build brighter horizons as a legal coach. I'm intersex woman, you guys seen my face. I am Nefertiti. Yes, I'm the female that likes to act masculine, but I was born a woman, biologically born a woman, not transitioning. So, yes, and also I was born with a male genitalia because I have sexual development disorder, and it was all genetic responses from my birth. So, based on these types of stories that I hear from, you know what I mean? I like to develop a bigger perspective of case, only because it's a bigger horizon. Yes, I know hormones is what makes the trans person trans. I take hormones as an intersex woman, but here's the thing, you guys. I've been on hormones for as long as I have been, and nothing changes. Nothing, because I was born a biological woman with a male genitalia organ. So, yeah. So, of course, I know for myself of reasonings, the viewpoint for safety is different. Because, of course, I was born a genetic woman. I was born like this. So, yeah, I have my stories of being sexually, assaulted as a young one, of course. But it's just, on these stories overall, on these topics, it's just, if the hormones weren't there, then what would you be? Because cosmetics doesn't make a woman. Wearing makeup, that's not what makes a woman. All the makeup and all the cosmetics and all the jewelry and all the long hair, that's not what makes a woman a woman. I have to educate because I'm a woman empowerment and I'm a legal coach too. And don't worry, I'm not in the LGBTIA community no more. I don't advocate on those terms. I advocate on the reality of truth of knowledge, just people to know the claims, what they have to understand too. It's only because if you go back to being a generic trans woman. Meaning, if you stop taking your medication at any point, because remember, medication is easy to stop taking, and then who would you be embracing again? Who would you embrace again? Because some people detransition. That's your own freedom of choice. I really don't care. But on these types of cases, that's all what the Department of Security wants to know. Which way do you want to classify this information towards yourself? Because, there's been cases also where trans got women pregnant and it's been said they were trans, but they were generically liking women too. So it's just a bigger horizon of how these cases go, really. Because, of course, remember, it's sticking to the standard of men's protocols too for sex. And then you have to stick to the standards of a woman's protocol for sex too. And then, of course, if you're transitioning too, it's just the overall outreach on those reasonings too. That's all. That's where these topics come from, you guys. So, yeah.